So for question number 1A is, what is Ronald's initial investment in this unit trust? So initial investment stands for P, which is the principal. So we use the formula S equal to P bracket 1 plus I close bracket n power by n. And then the total sum up is Rm 5,454 ringgit and 44 cents. So for question 1B1, this is the information that we have got based on the question. So the total consolidated amount is Rm 13,000, and then it was invested 50% in each fund, so makes it Rm 13,000 times 50 per 100, which makes it Rm 6,500. So for question 1 is, calculated the maturity value of each unit's trust investment and the total maturity values by the end of 2032. So KST equity fund is, the maturity value for KST is 9,502.69 cents. So, and for WMS conservative fund is, maturity value Rm 9,217.23 cents. And then the total maturity values for by the end of 2032 is KST plus WMS. So the total is Rm 18,720.20 cents. So for question number B2 is, among these unit trust funds, which offers a better deal? Explain your reason. So our answer is, the KST equity fund offers a better deal. This is because KST grows at 5.5% compounded semi-annually, which is effectively higher than WMS, which is 5% compounded monthly. And then even though WMS compounds more frequently, which is monthly, its interest rate is lower, so its final value ends up smaller. Comparison of these maturity values for each unit is, KST equity funds values for Rm 9,502.96 cents, and then WMS is Rm 9,217.23. So KST produces Rm 285.73% more, meaning it gives a higher return for the same principal amount over the same period.
Question 1B3, we need to calculate the total interest earned from 2022 until 2032. So since we have the value of P in the previous question, which is Rm 5,454.44 cents, we need to look for the maturity value for unit funds KST and WMS, which is also Rm 18,720.19 cents. And now we're going to look for the total for the P plus 6,000, which is for the total for 2022 until 2025, and the total is 11,454.44 cents. And the total interest earned equals to 18,720.19 cents minus 11,454.44 cents, which is the 18,001 is the total maturity value for the unit funds, and the 11,454 is the total for 2022 until 2025. So the total interest earned from 2022 until 2032 equals to Rm 7,265.76 cents.
To calculate the total accumulated amount after 18 years, Nur Amina parents invest 12,000 and the interest rate is 4.55% compounded quarterly. To solve this, I use the compound interest formula. A equals to P open bracket 1 plus I close bracket n, where P is the principal, which is 12,000, I is the interest rate per quarter, n is the total number of compounding periods. Since the interest compounds quarterly, I divide the annual rate. I equals to 0.0455 divide 4 equals to 0.011375. Next, I calculate the number of periods. 18 years multiply 4 quarters equals to 72 periods. Then I substitute everything into the formula. A equals to 12,000 multiply open bracket 1 plus 0.011375 close bracket 72. After calculating, the total accumulated amount is 22,093.22. So after 18 years, the fund grows from 12,000 to 27,083 and 22 cents. Okay. So next part B asks how much Nur Amina can withdraw every 3 months while she is in college. She will withdraw the money equally over 4 years, and because withdrawals are every 3 months, that give 4 years multiply 4 quarters equals to 16 withdrawals. To find the withdrawal amount, I use the present value of an annuity formula. A equals to R multiply open bracket 1 minus open bracket 1 plus I close bracket minus n close bracket. Here A is the amount available, which is 22,093 and 22 cents. I is the same interest rate per quarter, 0.011375. N is the 16 quarters. R is the withdrawal amount we want to find. So I rearrange the formula to solve for R. 22,093 and 22 cents equals to R multiply open bracket 1 close multiply open bracket 1 minus open bracket 1 plus 0.011375 close bracket and negative 16 close bracket. After calculating the withdrawal amount is R equals to 1,861.68 cents. So Nur Aminah can withdraw 1,861 and 1,861 and 68 cents every 3 months during her 4 years of college.
So I will continue with the question number 2C. The question is about after Nur Aminah finished college and start work, she hoped to buy a car that cost 60,000. She then made a 10% down payment and financed the balance through a bank for 9 years, with interest compounded monthly at a rate of 3.45%. So the number one question is calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. So first we need to calculate the monthly payment. So first we need to get the information from the question so that we get easier to solve the question. So from the question I get the car cost is 60,000 and Aminah make down payment 10%, and then we need to calculate the down payment. So the down payment is equal to 10% multiplied by 60,000. So the down payment value is 6,000 ringgit. And then from the question also, I get the value of T is equal to 9 CR and M equal to 12 and K is equal to 0.0345. Before that, we need to calculate the loan amount. So to calculate this loan amount is, we need to minus car cost with down payment. So loan amount is equal to 60,000 minus 6,000. So the value of loan amount is 54,000. So because we have the amount of A, so we use formula present value to calculate this monthly payment. So we key in the information that we get from the question to that formula. So the value of monthly payment is 582.35 cents. And then after we calculate the monthly payment, we need to calculate the total amount of interest charged by the bank. So to calculate this interest charged by bank, we need to calculate the total amount paid, which is R multiplied by N. So N is stand for number of payment. So total amount paid equal to 582.35 multiplied 12 multiplied 9. So the total amount paid is 62,893.80. And then we continue to calculate the total interest charge. To calculate this total interest charge, we need to minus total amount paid and loan amount interest. So the total interest charge is equal to 62,893.80 minus 54000 is equal to 8893.80 ringgit. So the monthly payment is 5,082 ringgit 35 cents, and the total interest charged by the bank is 80,893 ringgit 80 cents. Then I will continue question. The question is from 1 to C. The question is, if she missed her first 3 monthly payment, how much should she pay on her fourth payment to settle all outstanding arrears? So this question is asking about the future value of the 3 missed payment at the time of the fourth payment. And then first we need to calculate the number of payment. So to calculate this number of payment is the 3 missed payment plus the current one. So later with the information of N at the future value formula. So we key in the same information that we used at the previous question to the formula future value. So after we key in the information to the formula, so we get the answer is 2,339 ringgit 46 cents.
So for question 2C3, we need to calculate the amount to be paid and the total interest change. Since the formula for amount to be paid is A equals to R, 1 minus bracket 1 plus I plus negative n's and divide by I, just put everything together that you have the information and you will get A equals to 582.35 cents, 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.0345 divided by 12 with negative 24, and then divided again by 0.0345 divided by 12, and you will get Rn 13,486.40 cents, and that is the value for amount to be paid. So next one, we are going to calculate the total interest change. So first one, we need to calculate the total amount if she has already paid. So just multiply it by 84
you will get equals to 582.35 cents multiplied by 24, and it will be at 48,917.40 cents. And then next one, you need to calculate the total amount if she settles at year 7. So just add up everything together, and it will be 48,970.40 cents plus 13,486.40 cents, and it will be 62,403.80 ringgit. And the last part is we are going to total the interest rate. So the down payment is 0.1 times 60,000, and it will be 6,000. And the loan amount is 60,000 minus 6,000, and it will be 54,000. And the total interest earned is the total amount that we already got, and it will be 62,403.80 cents and minus 54,000. So the total interest change is 8,403.80 cents.